All right, let's dive deep into the mystery that's been stirring up waves across the NFL fan base. It all started with a single photo, one image posted by a superstar pass rusher that instantly sparked a storm of speculation. This is not your average athlete who lives on social media, posting every workout, every meal, or every thought. No, this is someone who chooses silence over noise. And when he does say something, especially online, it's worth paying attention to. So, when that cryptic image hit his feed, him making a peace sign, face unreadable, clearly not in a joyful mood, fans went into full detective mode. People immediately started throwing out theories. Was he quietly saying goodbye to the game? Was this a subtle nudge at his current team? A message behind the peace sign? Was this a player at a crossroads, stuck in a frustrating negotiation, using his platform to send a silent signal to the front office? Whatever it wasn't just a random post. This wasn't a vacation photo. This wasn't a training clip. This was a calculated message, and the timing couldn't have been more telling. The truth is, when players of his caliber, guys who've dominated for years, racked up sacks like it's nothing, change the momentum of games with a single play, start going silent or posting cryptic images, it usually means something. And this particular photo, it wasn't taken recently. Fans with a keen eye noticed it looked like it was snapped after a tough moment. Possibly after his injury late last season, when he was walking off the field, clearly disappointed, waving to the crowd. That's not a happy memory, and it's not the kind of image you'd share lightly, especially when you're not someone who posts often. So what does it mean? The internet exploded with three main theories. The first, and maybe the most optimistic, is that it means absolutely nothing. Just a random post. Maybe he thought the photo looked cool. Maybe he was feeling reflective. But come on, how many people believe that when it comes from a player like this? The second theory is that retirement might be creeping into the picture. Some fans noticed the tone of the post and started questioning whether he was ready to hang it up. The final, and arguably most compelling, is that he's hinting at a desire to leave. A trade, a fresh start somewhere else. Maybe frustration over stalled contract talks. Maybe he's had enough of the organization. Maybe he just wants a change. And let's be real, players in today's NFL know exactly how to use social media to their advantage. We've seen this time and time again. They unfollow the team. They delete every photo in team colors. They post vague quotes about loyalty or respect. It's become a new kind of negotiation tactic, a way to get the public's attention, maybe even the front office's attention. It's subtle, it's strategic, and it's effective. Fans notice. Media picks it up. Pressure builds. Suddenly, that silence becomes the loudest message in the room. From what we've gathered, this situation seems to be rooted in frustration over his current contract talks. The player is heading into the final year of his deal. He's about to turn 30, and while he's still performing at an elite level, the window for a massive extension is closing fast. He's not the kind of guy you want to let walk, especially when he's the heart and soul of your defense. But here's where it gets tricky. The number he might be asking for? It's steep. We're talking about something close to quarterback money. That's right. He's reportedly seeking a deal that could reach or exceed $40 million per season for a defensive player. Now, before anyone says that's crazy, let's take a step back and look at the facts. This isn't just any pass rusher. This is a game wrecker, a guy who consistently ranks among the top in the league in sacks, tackles for loss, and forced fumbles. He's already won a Defensive Player of the Year award, and honestly, could have won a couple more if the voting had gone his way. Just last season, he recorded 19 sacks and 19 tackles for loss. He's a one-man wrecking crew, and when he's on the field, the entire defense plays with a different energy. But his impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. Want proof? Look at the team's record when he doesn't play. In the games he's missed due to injury, they've won just 1 and lost 10. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you lose your most valuable player. You can argue about MVPs all day, but when a defender's absence causes that kind of collapse, it tells you everything you need to know. This isn't just a guy who gets sacks. This is someone who changes the outcome of games. He creates turnovers, sets the tone, and demands double teams every single snap. So if he's asking for $40 million per year, is that really unreasonable? That's the big question. On one hand, it's a staggering number. Only a few quarterbacks in the league make more than that. But on the other hand, he might be worth every penny. He's not just a player. He's a culture setter, a leader, someone younger guys look up to. He's the kind of guy you build your defense around. Not just now, but for the next few seasons. And with the salary cap rising every year, a deal that seems outrageous today might look like a bargain 2 or 3 years down the road. Now, the benchmark for his new deal is likely based on another elite defender who recently signed a contract worth about $35 million and some change per season. If this guy is aiming for more, say between $36 and $39 million, that actually sounds reasonable given his resume. Anything under 40 might even be considered steal. But that's not the point. The point is he doesn't feel like the team is meeting him halfway. And that's where the tension is building. From the outside, it looks like he's making a calculated move. The post, the timing, the silence, it all fits the pattern. He's not happy with how talks are going, so he's sending a message. And while it doesn't necessarily mean he wants out, it does mean he's putting pressure on the organization. Maybe he's hoping to speed things up. Maybe he wants to remind everyone just how valuable he is. Whatever the motive, it's working. People are talking. Fans are worried. Analysts are speculating. The front office is surely paying attention. This kind of situation is always delicate. You got one of the most dominant defensive players of his generation feeling undervalued. You've got a fan base that doesn't want to see him go. And you got a team trying to manage the future while also staying competitive now. If they truly believe they can win in the next 2 seasons, keeping this guy on the roster should be a top priority. Letting him go, not because of performance, but because of money, would send the wrong message to the locker room and the fan base. So now we wait. Will the team meet his demands? Will they find a middle ground? Or will things escalate even further? One thing's for sure. This isn't the last we're hearing about it. Stay tuned. Let's pick up right where we left off, because this story is far from over. If this player really wants to become the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the league, we have to take a deeper look at what that means. Not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of what he brings to the table every single game. He's not just chasing a contract. He's chasing respect, leverage, and long-term security. And for a player who's given everything on the field, through injuries, pressure, and postseason heartbreaks, the timing makes perfect sense. He's entering his 30s, which, for a lot of defensive players, is when questions start coming in about longevity. Can he keep this pace? Will his body hold up? Is this still his peak, or is the decline just around the corner? But if you look at his recent performance, the numbers speak louder than any age-related concern. 19 sacks in a season is not something you stumble into. It's domination. It's technique, strength, instincts, all sharpened through years of relentless work. And the fact that he's still producing at this level after a significant injury only reinforces how special he is. A lot of guys come back slower, hesitant, less explosive. Not him. He came back swinging, picked up right where he left off, and immediately reminded everyone why he's one of the most feared defenders in the league. But there's more to his case than just sacks and stats. This is about impact, the kind that can't always be measured. Watch the games, and it becomes obvious. Offensive coordinators plan entire game scripts around avoiding him. Quarterbacks get jittery just seeing him line up. Running backs get swallowed in the backfield when he crashes the edge. Wide receivers don't even get the chance to make a play because the ball never gets to them. That's the kind of disruption we're talking about. That's the kind of player who changes how football is played every Sunday. He's not just defending his side of the field. He's dictating how the opposing offense operates. Now, imagine being in that locker room. You look across and see the guy who never takes a play off, who demands the best out of everyone around him, who's been the face of your defense for years. And then imagine the front office telling that guy, "Sorry, we can't pay you what you're worth." That kind of message sends shockwaves through a team. It creates doubt. It affects morale. Because if they can do it to him, what does that mean for the rest of the roster? What does that say about how much the team values its stars? And more importantly, what does it say about their commitment to winning? This isn't just a negotiation. It's a statement. And he's making it loud and clear. Not through interviews, not through tweets, but through calculated silence and subtle hints. The team has a decision to make. They can meet him at the table with the kind of offer that reflects everything he's done and everything he still has left to give. Or they can play hardball, risk alienating their leader, and possibly watch him walk away to a contender who's more than willing to open the checkbook. Let's not forget, if he hits the market, the offers will flood in. Every team in need of a game-changing defender will be on the phone. And even teams that don't need him will find a way to make space, because talent like his doesn't come around often. He's the kind of player who instantly elevates any defense, any locker room, any franchise. And if his current team can't see that, or chooses to ignore it, they could end up paying a much bigger price than money. They could lose the heart of their defense. They could lose the respect of the locker room. And worst of all, they could lose their edge in a conference that's only getting tougher every year. But there's still time. The offseason isn't over. There's room for compromise. And the best-case scenario for the player, the fans, and the franchise is that they find common ground, that they recognize what he means, not just in terms of production, but in terms of leadership, presence, and legacy. Because when it comes down to it, this is about more than contracts. It's about value. And if they let him go over a few million, they'll be learning that lesson the hard way every time they take the field without him. And here's a thought. What if this whole situation is part of a broader strategy? What if the post, the silence, the whispers, it's all part of a plan to stir the pot, apply pressure, and shift the conversation? Athletes today are savvier than ever. They understand the power of narrative. They understand timing. And they know how to make headlines without ever saying a word. So maybe this isn't just frustration. Maybe it's chess. Maybe it's leverage disguised as emotion. Maybe it's a reminder to the front office that time is ticking and decisions have to be made. Because whether he ends up signing the richest contract ever for a defensive player or not, one thing is clear. He's not someone you can afford to ignore. And for the sake of the team, the fans, and the future, they better realize that before it's too late. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is reeling as news breaks of Baker Mayfield's shocking move to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just months after a historic season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mayfield, fresh off a record-setting performance and a $100 million extension, is heading north in a stunning turn of events that has fans, analysts, and insiders scrambling for answers. The question on everyone's mind: why would Tampa Bay let go of a quarterback in his prime? And more importantly, what does this mean for the Steelers? After delivering one of the most statistically dominant seasons in recent NFL history, over 4,500 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and a 70% completion rate, Mayfield seemed like the unquestioned future of the Buccaneers. His leadership had turned the post-Brady Bucs into legitimate contenders, and he had become a fan favorite in Tampa. But sources close to the situation suggest behind-the-scenes disagreements and a desire for Mayfield for a fresh challenge may have triggered the blockbuster deal. For Pittsburgh, this could be the dawn of a new era. The Steelers, long known for gritty defense and conservative offense, now find themselves with one of the league's most electric quarterbacks under center. Baker brings a fire we haven't seen here in a long time, one team insider shared. This is not just about football. This is a culture shift. Head coach Mike Tomlin has remained tight-lipped, but his signature smirk during a brief press conference today said more than words ever could. The locker room vibe in Pittsburgh is already buzzing, with teammates posting cryptic tweets and emojis hinting at big things ahead. Wide receivers have reportedly started private workouts with Mayfield, and insiders claim offensive coordinators are retooling the entire playbook to match Baker's strengths. This isn't a temporary patch. This is a full-throttle investment in a franchise revival. As speculation swirls, fans are left eagerly awaiting the first glimpses of Mayfield in black and gold. Will he be the missing piece that returns the Steelers to Super Bowl glory? Or will the pressure of the Steel City forge a different kind of legacy? One thing's for sure, the NFL just got a whole lot more interesting. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.